channel. We are on the beach. I'm just doing a little live here. I'm going to just be setting up for a little while, so I'm going to be jiggling it around a bit. Mount this in the stand. Hopefully I've got it the right way around this time. I'll make coughing. Bear with me for a moment. Don't think there's anybody watching at the moment anyway. Oh, somebody, hi. Hi CJ, Mark Wells, how you doing buddy? And that's quite early for a live really. I tend not to be watching lives this early. So that's mounted on the stand. Clamp it on. So bear with me for a minute. Right, if you're working, if you're cooking. Right, I'm going to put a light onto the rod tip so you can watch the rod tips. And I'll put a little light on me. If I want to turn it around, you can see me. Turn my headlight off, so it's definitely there. Switch this around. Tilt it up so you can see the rods. Go. It's not focused. Yeah, a bit better. Right, so good evening everybody, and welcome to the channel. Just going to do a short live tonight. We're down on the beach. We are fishing for conger eels. Well, at the moment I've got one rod out trying to catch some whiting for bait. Oh, just going to flash a light on my conger rod. Now the other bit of kit that I'm testing out tonight is my new gadget, which I alluded to on the last live. But I'll reveal it when we get a few more viewers on it. I'm not used to this being in this vertical orientation. That's lost focus. Focus. That's better. bait on there. What I expect to see is a hog bait flying over. We got this bait out a good 150 to 200 yards out. I'm using one of the gadgets, nearly giving away what it is. This camera around a bit higher. Well done, see it on the squid catching in the other video. Oh right, thanks mate, yeah it was a good little day out that. I mean I didn't catch thousands, but I got enough. I got enough for my needs. My freezer is absolutely full now. And it was a fun day. And it was funny because I was having just good to get out, to be honest, because the weather's been so pants just recently. And on the way back in, I just suddenly saw a load of bird activity, and I stopped. And the intention was to cast the squid jig, cast some lures for bass. And I thought, well, I'll drop the squid jigs down before I cast. And I was hitting squid, but the jigs were hitting the water basically. I mean, the boat hadn't even stopped moving, and I was hitting squid. And it was, I mean, you know, double headers and triple headers and two rods at the same time, and yeah, it was good. Yeah, thanks for watching that. If you haven't done so already, there is a thing called a hike button now, and I think you can only access it from your phone. So if you're watching the video on the phone, when you go to the like button, there's a thing that says you can hype it, and that scores me points. And apparently it's a way they YouTube can actually credit me with points to promote my thing. I'm going to have to take this call, so bear with me for a minute. Right, Lee Williams, yeah, just popping to say on my way out in a bit for a spot of conger and bass hunting. That's exactly what we're doing. Exactly what we're doing. I didn't say bass, but yeah, bass would be welcome, and there's plenty of them about at the moment. Normally late in the season, they're big ones as well. I take it the live is still working. Yeah, I think so. Tell me, 22 watching, 3 thumbs up. Thank you very much for the thumbs up, guys. If you haven't given me a thumb up, please give me one. And if you get the option, hit that high button, the hike button. 23. Right, I mean, you go for Huss, what, dogfish or bullhuss? No, I mean, YouTube is asking me to put some stupid Q&A questions, and I'm not going to. Yeah, well, you know, there's plenty of bass around, and they're mooching about eating anything they can because they're fattening up for the winter, so you never know. There's every chance of the dogfish here tonight, to be honest. Every chance. Yeah, I do love the bass. They are up there in my favourite fish, particularly a big one. There's just something about them. I mean, I like terriers, and I like bull terriers. Pull-ups, I like the bull terrier of the fish world, aren't they? Big, powerful head. Phone call coming in. Excuse me for a minute, guys. Yeah, I must admit I like catching them. I've got one spot I know where I can catch them off the shore. It's down in the West Country, but never big ones. I've never had a big one from there, just small ones. But even the small ones, they've got such an attitude, haven't they? They're so aggressive. I love it. And the big ones, they're just like leopards, like sea leopards. You know, the markings on them are like leopard spots, aren't they? Yeah, I think they're beautiful fish. I mean, dogfish would be fun if they got a bigger puller. Well, good luck with that, mate. Post some pictures. Are you on my Facebook group? If you're not on my Facebook group, join my Facebook group. I'll have to approve you. There's a couple of questions you have to answer. But if you are, and you get one, post a picture on there for us. We do catch rays from this beach. It's not. I wouldn't have said it was a raised beach as such, but I have had an 8-pound ray from here in the past. Neil had quite a nice one, about 4 or 5 pounds a couple of weeks ago. So they do turn up, you know, and there's every chance if there's one about, I might pick one up. My mate Jay the Ray has been catching small eyes. He's had some big small eyes down at Eastbourne, real big ones. Well, mate. Come on, rod tips. No, because that left-hand bait's out a long way, and I launched it with my new toy. My new toy, I'm going to give it away as a bait boat. It's a seagoing bait boat, but it's quite, seas just about, I would say, just about on the limits of the bait boat. It's a bit of a swell, and I launched it in daylight, and it was all right. It went out, came back all right, but I don't know if I'm confident enough in it to send it out in the dark. So when I wind this bait in, I'll probably wait until I've got some whiting and I can put a fresh bait out, and I'll whack the whiting out. I'm led to believe the other night that all the eels came round about the bottom of the tide, which is about 10 to 9 I think tonight. Don't know if I'm staying that late. Don't know if I'm staying that late. 14 watching, 5 what thumbs up. Andy Cole, good evening. Red light flashing every so often on that left-hand rod. Good. Good to see that. It's a long way out. It's monofill line. A lot of stretch in it, so it could be disguising quite a good bite. The target tonight is something that's going to put a bend in my rod. And to be honest, from this beach, the thing that's going to put a bend in my rod is a big eel. So that's what we're hoping for, big eels. But you know, a nice bass will put a bend in the rod. Thornback ray might, but I think those are the three things that I would like to catch tonight. What I'm likely to catch is dogfish. I'm not a great fan of dogfish. You know, if you're fishing competitions, then they make a lot of points for you, but they are a bloody nuisance, and they destroy baits that are meant for better fish. Well, you can see the moon. If it's to the left of my rods, that big bright light is the moon. Good to be out, to be honest. I mean, Neil came down here last night. He's fishing just to my right. He came down here last night and asked me to come, and I to be honest, I've got this bloody chest infection back here. I've got coughing and splutt. And yesterday I just didn't think it was a good idea. I feel a bit better today. But as he had about 6 or 7 eels, and the biggest one was mid-30s, so it was a good fish. And the bait of choice for the big eels is chunks of whiting, like chunks of fresh whiting. So my right hand rod is out with some baits for whiting on it. Some manky old black lug that I've got out of the freezer, tipped up with a bit of squid. But I'm not seeing anything on it. It surprised me. Normally if the whiting are about, starts to get rod rattles as soon as it gets dark. It's clearly dark now. She's on that left hand rod, is it? Come on, give us a big wrap round. Bend the rod right over. Tide's going out, mate. The tide's on the way down. Again, I would have always said that the fish is best when the tide's flooding, but the last few years I've actually done quite well on the ebb. So I think it was probably a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. The Sheppey rig, I've never heard of it, but if you asked me to show you a Sheppey rig, I'd have to look it up. Tell me about it. Tell me about the Sheppey rig. I might know it by a different name. I mean, that left-hand rod has got what would be an up and over. It's got quite a long trace on it. But because I launched it off a bait boat, it was launched from the back of the boat. I just hoped that it didn't tangle or be ejected from the boat. I know the Isle of Sheppey is quite a good spot for fishing for rays. Talking to the guys from the angling shop that used to be in Sheppey, shut down. He'd had, I know, some ridiculous number one night. I mean, for us, I mean, I think on Sheppey, rays are a bit like dogfish to us, they're a bit of a nuisance. But for us here, rays is you know, because they're few and far between. They're good to catch. sure it's signed for me, because Tony will probably just sell it. Always on the lookout for something different. I mean, on the right-hand rod, I've just got a 3-hook Paternoster clip down match rig, basically, with like size 2 hooks on it. As I say, with the hope of trying to pick up some weight. And the left-hand rod is an up and over pulley rig, which is, you know, hopefully is leaving the bait a long way away from the weight, so the eel or whatever picks up, it's got a bit of time to run with it before it comes up against the weight and then hooks itself. I think I'm getting lots of little red light flickers on the left-hand rod, but as I say, it is a long way out. It's very nice and fast, so it just could be a little wheel in the line or something. There's nothing bending the rod over. Just little touches. Cheers, Mark. That's very kind of you. I'll feature it on the channel, unless it's a secret thing. Katie, kayak dangler. Hello, mate. Bet you're the same as us boat anglers. It's looking out at sea every day going, when are we going to get a window in the weather? The problem is I've heard someone describe it, the weather's jumping around like a frog in a sock. And you know, it was meant to be really nice today, but the wind's picked up. I was toying with going out on the boat today, but it's probably lumpy as hell out at sea. Sunday was looking good. Zilla. Yeah, well that's it. I'm doing more shore angling than I'm getting out on a boat. I've got a very expensive boat sitting, costing me money in a marina. And all I can do is go in and occasionally make a cup of tea. I've also got a very expensive kayak, which hasn't seen water this year. Hoping I can get it out this summer, but it's just one thing after another. Do you like kayak angling? Rod in and just check the baits on it, because it's been out a while, and you know, sometimes you get a little whiting maybe on it and it just doesn't register. So the left hand rod's still flashing, but it's a big bait on it, and I would expect that to bend right over if I got a decent fish on it. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I quite like catching bass on the kayak, and I love it when they're running around the boat and you're having to pass the rod around the boat. And, yeah, I do like bass fishing with the kayak. Yeah, I know. He did have a decent conger last night. He's fishing, he's just to the right of me now, he's about 20 yards away. That's a lousy whiny little fish. Yeah. Good angler, Neil, but don't tell him I said it. Yeah, I tell you what I used to do on the kite, I haven't done it for a while now, is fishing with live prawns. You have to go out in the kayak at low water and go and collect the live prawns and then put them in a thing and have them that sort of in a creel so you keep them alive, and then just float fishing with live prawns. The bite is so spectacular. Yeah, and they because you're in shallow water, they run, so they don't just dive, they run off. So they'll give you a real squeeze if you get a decent. That left-hand rod keeps giving me a little quiver. I wonder if I've got a whiting or something that's probably got itself caught on the big hooks and sitting there. I think the sea's got up too much for me on my bait boat again. Pretty obviously it's the surface bar. Message held with you. What does that mean? Okay. Another moderator handled it. Right, Andy Cole, for some reason, I don't know what's, it's held that message. I don't think, I think if you got the deep end right up past around the Martello, you're fishing into an almighty big reef there and you will lose lots of gear. That's my view on it. I mean, I fish a particular spot on Seaford Beach, which is my spot. I'm not going to give it away because I'll end up with thousands of people on it. And it's not necessarily the best spot on the beach to be quite honest. It's just convenient for me. Certainly up by the Buckle is quite a popular spot, and I'll never know if that's because the fishing is particularly good there or it's because it's very easy to park. But either way, a lot of people fish there, and of course because a lot of people fish there, a lot of fish get caught there. So, I don't know. Seaford Beach is a great beach. All I can say is the eastern end is very snaggy. It's very snaggy. There is a reef. You know, when I've gone along over the boat over there and with the echo sounder, it's huge, great big pinnacles of rock. Yeah, it's very snaggy. The whiting, they're very strange. They didn't really show up last year, and there is the odd one. I say Neil had a couple last night. He was getting hits, conga hits on the whiting, and the whiting were coming in with a big V-shaped bite mark on them. So he chunked up some whiting and put it out as bait. And that's what he had his big eel on, which is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for some whiting on this right-hand rod. I'm not seeing any activity on that rod whatsoever. It doesn't mean to say that there's not a whiting on there. So I might wind it in and just check freshen the bait up. The bait I've got is pretty manky black lug. It's been in the freezer, so only ever fished the Buckle end for place. Yeah, that's exactly right. but there's some good bass marks along there. Go a little bit further down past the yacht club. Some good bass there. Sole mark along there. Smooth hounds. Yeah, all along there. And then if you get up into tide mills, good for bass there and flatfish. The British flounder record was held at the Buckle, not the Buckle, the tide mills for about a week, I think. Someone had a big one there, and then someone got a bigger one a week later, I believe. And it's good for bait digging down there as well. So I've got something, keeps pecking away at that left hand rod, but I'm loath to bring it in because I've invested a lot in getting it out a long way. The fact that something's still pecking away at it is an indication still bait on there, so we'll leave it. I'm going to bring this right hand rod in, so talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'll leave the camera viewing like me down that way, so you hopefully you'll see if I catch a fish. Just turn it so it gets to me. Right, talk amongst yourselves. the worms.
I'm defrosting a couple of pelt, so I bought you one over if you want it. Yeah, I was discussing a couple of times. I thought, oh, we're in. But no, nothing. Might be small ones, a bit like that last night as well. Then you just seem to get the ones that commit a bit more. Where are you going to put the pelt, mate? It's here. half a cuttlefish. Get that out there. Down by your pelt.
Right, sorry about that. Right, well, so guys, yo, yeah, brought those baits in. Right, only cool. I've got two rods out. Obviously, the left-hand rod has got an up and over pulley pennel, and the right-hand rod is a 3-hook click-down paternoster. The up and over's got about size 4.0 hooks on it, with a big bait, which I launched out with a bait boat a long way out. And the other one is just worm and a bit of squid. It came in, the worms had gone off one of the hooks, the other two hooks the squid had been taken, so I put the squid back out, but I've fed it onto the hook a little bit more, so that if someone is hungry for the squid, it's going to take the hook, hopefully. And Neil's just gifted me a little pouting and a bit of cuttle, so I might bring in the long distance rod and think about maybe trying the boat in the dark. I don't know if I'm brave or not. I'm tempted. There's something going on that left hand rod. I think I'm going to wind it in to see what's on there. There must be something on it. It's a long way out on monofill, so possible that I'm not going to see a decent bite. So let's wind that in. How you doing, guys? Sorry about that. I obviously, because I went out on the bait boat, I'm just going back through the messages here because there's quite a few. Right, Steve, hello mate. Empty angler, best of luck. Catch up with you next week. Looks like it's blowing nuts for 2 weeks, so let's see the cafe. Yeah. All right, mate. I think you've probably gone, but if you haven't, yeah, we'll do that. Albertina Cardosa, say hi. CJ, hey mate. I've got a cup of tea. I haven't got any cake, which I kind of regret because I'm bloody hungry now. Yeah, the wind has picked up a little bit. It's not serious, but there is a bit of wind blowing, and it's kind of off the shore. So yeah, I've got something on that left-hand rod now, haven't I? Definitely. It's a squid and worm. So who knows? Maybe I've got a bit of fresh bait. The long distance rod that I put out with the bait boat, because I put it out a long way, I obviously managed to reach the reef, which curves round this area here, because I lost the gear. I think there was something on there, but it was in the reef, so never mind. So that's why I've been away a little while, bait up and everything. The lives from Tony's shop, yeah, there's no reason why we're not doing them. I'd happily do them. In fact, I spent quite a lot of money getting all the gear together to do that. It's just trying to get Tony to commit to it. And it involves him doing something in the evenings, and I think he likes to be in the pub. So, yeah, we will do some more lives in the shop, I think. Even if it's just talking to Tony. I quite like doing them, and a lot of people did like to come into them and chat him. So maybe we'll do it. I'll have a word with him. Yeah. So anyway, I'm back. I've got 2 rods out. I think I'm going to have to wind that left-hand rod in because it was definitely bouncing around just now. Hopefully I've got some whiting or a little pouting or something on there. I've put half a pouting out on the big rod now. If I get some whiting or pouting on that left-hand rod, I'll put a big bait on that one as well. So I'm fishing with 2 big baits. Oh, I've got 15 people watching and 16 thumbs up. That's a record. Thanks very much for that. I think I'm gonna keep this live fairly short. I'm probably draw it to a close in a minute because you can come back and watch it again. It will stay up on the channel for a little while, and I want to concentrate on filming for my channel. So I'll give it another few minutes, and then the numbers are tailing off, which they are. About 12. There's 12 on you then. They're on there now. I can't get the word out. And there will be a video out of this evening, so you'll be able to come back. It'll be in a week or so because I've got a few things in the queue now. To put out, and this video will also feature the bait boat going out, being launched, which should be quite good. So I'm not going to do it now. The surf's too big, and I'm not brave enough to try it in the dark. Do it a few more times in daylight first. Bring the bait boat and you can have a look at it. So here's my new toy. There will be videos out about it shortly, and I will be featuring it more and more because I want to do a bit more experimenting with it. As I say, I'm a bit nervous about sending it out. If it was really flat calm, I might be a bit braver, but it's not. It's quite rough. So we're not going to put it out in the dark. And also, I put it out too far, and I found a reef. So I need to be exploring this a little bit in front of me here, and find where the good spots are. But yeah, explore it. So far, very impressed with it. Very impressed. Thanks, Mark. That's really good of you. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, and I'll give it a try. Actually, how you doing, mate? I've not been watching the budget and working out if she's worked out a way of taxing fishing, no doubt. Yeah, I'm going to wind that left hand rod in. If I've got some bait fish on there, then I'll swap over to a bigger rig from there. I might swap over to a bigger rig anyway. Don't know. It's wind it in, see. Decision next. Right, well, that's it. I've had that nice little white in. I'm going to sliver that up as bait and whack that out. And we will end the live now. Harry Kember, what fish? Just one white in. When does the squid disappear, guys? Well, they've gone. If we got a spell of 4 or 5 days of northerly winds or light winds, the water clarity might improve and they might turn up again. I think they're around offshore, but they're normally gone by beginning of December. So obviously 1st of December on this weekend. So I think we've had it for squid this year. Yeah, thanks very much for joining me. I am going to end this now, and I'll see you on the next one. And there will be a video out on this a bit later. Bye.